Dear students, welcome back to the topic of surface chemistry. Here we will going to study about the properties of colloids. The first property is about the optical properties of colloids. In that, the Tyndall effect. Let us discuss about the Tyndall effect. When an intense covering beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, it is kept in a dark. The path of the beam gets illuminated with a bluish light. Here, this is the container consisting of the colloidal solution. They will pass the beam of the light with help of the torch. The beam of light is visible inside the colloidal solution due to the scattering up of the particles of the colloids. This phenomena is called the Tyndall effect, and the illuminated path is known as the Tyndall cone. The Tyndall effect is due to the what? Due to the scattering of light by the colloidal particles. So the Tyndall effect is not exhibited by true solutions because there the solute is completely dissolved in the solvent. There the scattered light is not visible to our eyes because the particles present in a true solutions are too small to scatter the light. So Tyndall effect can be used to distinguish a colloidal solution from a true solution. The phenomenon has also been used to devise an instrument is known as the ultramicroscope. The instrument is used for the detection of the particles of colloidal dimensions. This is the colloidal solutions have the large bigger particles that is seen under the ultramicroscope. Then the mechanical properties of the colloids. In that, the Brownian moment or also called the zigzag moment. The continuous zigzag momentum of the colloidal particles in their dispersion medium in a colloidal solution is called Brownian moment. Here the solutions, they look like all the colloidal particles are moves in random directions. They are in the zigzag momentum. This direction of properties is called the Brownian momentum. It is found out by the scientist Brownian, so he put the name as a Brownian moment. Why this Brownian moment happens? The Brownian moment is due to the unequal bombardment of the moving molecules of the dispersion medium on colloidal particles. The Brownian moment decreases with an increases in the size of the colloidal particles. This is why suspensions do not exhibit this type of movement. The third one is electrical properties of colloids. In that, the process of electrophoresis. The movement of colloidal particles toward a particular electrode under the influence of an electric field. Here the U-shaped tube consisting of the colloidal particles, the colloidal solution. Here, by applying the electric field, all the particles will be moved towards one end. See, if the colloidal particles carry the positive charge, they can move towards the cathode when subjected to an electric field and vice versa. If the colloidal particles carries a negative charge in the sense, they can move towards the anode. The process of electroosmosis. In that, this is an colloidal solution. This can be separated by using the semi-permeable membrane. They apply the electric field to the both sides. One end is connected to the positive terminal of the battery anode. Another end is connected to the negative terminal, that is the cathode. The momentum of the dispersion medium under the influence of an electric field. In the situation when the moment of the colloidal particles is prevented with help of a suitable membrane. During the electroosmosis, the colloidal particles are checked and it is the dispersion medium that moves towards the oppositely charged electrodes. Moving up of the solute molecules in these colloidal particles through a semi-permeable membrane called the osmosis. By applying the electric field, they can be moved towards the oppositely charged electrode. This process is called the electroosmosis. Next property is coagulation or the flocculation. Here the coagulant is added to the colloidal solution. That colloidal solution have the impurities. That coagulant forms the precipitate by trapping the impurities in it. Finally it will get the precipitate. The precipitate will be very heavy. They can be settled at the bottom. Because the precipitate and the trapped impurities, they will be settled to the bottom. They are heavy. Then later on it can be washed out with help of the water or any another agent. Then they will separate the colloidal particles or the colloidal solutions. What is this coagulation means? Coagulation may be defined as the phenomena involving the precipitation of a colloidal solution on addition of an electrolyte. Is called the coagulation or the flocculation. This is explained by the Hardy-School's rules. What he explained, according to Hardy-School's rule, the greater the valency of the oppositely charged ion of the electrolyte is added to an colloidal solutions, higher is the valency, higher will be the formation of the precipitate. See an example. Before going to Hardy-School's rule, you will discuss more about the flocculation or the coagulation. That the flocculation value, the coagulating power of an electrolyte is usually expressed in terms of its flocculation value, which may be defined as the minimum concentration of the electrolyte required to cause the coagulation of a solid. A small amount of an electrolyte is get converted into the precipitate into the colloidal solutions. A smaller flocculation value indicates the greater coagulating power of the electrolytes. Thus, coagulating power is directly inversely proportional to the flocculation value. Means coagulating power is inversely proportional to the flocculation value. So, the coagulation of colloidal solution can also be achieved by any of the following methods. By electrophoresis, by mixing two oppositely sols, by persistent dialysis. The next property is the properties of colloids, that is explained by the Hardy-School's. So he stated the law called the Hardy-School's rules or Hardy-School's law. According to him, the coagulating power of an electrolyte increases rapidly with increases in the valency of the cation or the anions. The meaning is what? Higher the valency of the coagulation power, then it will be higher will be the formation of the precipitate. For negatively charged sol, the coagulating power of the electrolytes are like this. For example, the solution, colloidal solution is an aluminium chloride or barium chloride or NaCl. In that, which one have the highest charge? Al3 plus, Ba2 plus, Na plus. In that, Al3 plus have the highest valency. So this one have the highest precipitation power, higher the formation of the coagulation. For the positively charged ions, the coagulating power of the electrolyte as following the order. Otherwise, in case of the aluminium phosphate, aluminium sulfate or ammonium bromide, the aluminium phosphate PO4 3 minus. Later on, aluminium sulfate is have the -2 valency, SO4 2 minus. Then in ammonium bromine or the chloride, it may Cl minus or Br minus. So the charge on the phosphate is more, that is -3. After that SO4 2 minus, after that Br minus. So phosphate have the highest valency, so that will forms the highest precipitation power or the highest coagulating power of an electrolyte. That will increase the valency. Valency is highest in the sense the coagulating power of that electrolyte will be more. Biological significance of colloidal system. The cytoplasm is a colloidal system. It acts as a colloid in nature. It is like a amoeboid moments. The amoeboid momentum in the amoeba occurs. It consisting of cell membrane, Within it consisting of the nucleus. Nucleus have the nucleoplasm and the nucleosomes. The cytoplasm that can be made up of the cytosols. And fruits, some of the fruits, it turns or the turns store a large amount of the proteins and the starch. They also exhibit colloidal properties. Blood, the high plasma protein forms a colloidal system in blood. This system maintains the pH and osmotic concentration of blood. Milk is one of the colloidal solution. It helps to give the proteins and the fats. This is about the biological importance of colloids. In next session, we will discuss about the application of the